we got a depth chart here on Friday. It was the first depth chart of the season, and a lot of things jump out. I want to start the discussion with the offensive line, particularly the tackle position, as they really kind of are playing it coy at this point. All of the tackles have "or" on them, and being the seasoned 25-year veteran that I am, and I know you were probably, you got to wonder, do they really not know at this point who the starting tackles are going to be?
Very astute question. Well, now let's be fair. Rule said if the season started today, that Teddy Prohaska would be the right tackle. He said that. Now there's an "or" there. I get there's an "or" on the deal, but that was his quote. Now the left tackle is what everybody's talking about right now, because Elijah Pritchett was one of Nebraska's highest profile acquisitions from the portal this past winter. Started 12 games for Alabama last season, and he is listed in sort of, would you say like I don't know, are you calling it a dead heat type situation?
It is, but I will tell you, in the final fall camp practice, the simulation game day, he was out there as the number one left tackle, and I'm sure they rotate guys.
Right.
And we know that he was the starting left tackle in the scrimmage this past Saturday. So he's not the starter yet, but in the reps that have kind of mattered this week, he has been. The question is, whatever could be holding things back, can that take care of itself this week?
Well, that's a big question. Now, what Matt said is, now he said he's heard speculation. This is Coach Rule talking, that off-field factors are holding back Pritchett, and he was very adamant and said it's not that, Sean. It's the performance. He said unbelievably talented, good player, but a lot of false starts, a lot of mistakes. And when you have a quarterback, and I'm just now I'm still quoting Rule, when you have a quarterback like we have, it's not about the talent, it's about the production and dependability at that position. If you block the wrong guy, I don't care how talented you are. He said, I'm not saying he's blocking the wrong guy all the time. It's just where he's at now. So he gave an explanation, which I appreciate. False starts, blocking the wrong guy. And he says it's on field.
And there's been a narrative kind of in the underground belly of the internet world that there's been off the field things. And he got in front of that and said, there are no off the field things, is what he said today.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said. He said he likes Elijah very much. He says he's trying to get better, but this is an offensive line, Sean, that we've made it pretty clear. It's good, right? It's a good one.
It's a good problem to have right now.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but they demand accountability. And you can't, Sean, what happens? What are you going to say? Well, you'd say what I'd say. If they false start in the red zone and it costs them against Cincinnati, opening series, he jumps. You're going to be like, we've seen all that crap. You want that stuff cleaned up. I understand where Matt's coming from, where Donovan Raiola would be coming from. He's talented. He's a talented guy, but we've seen games. For instance, the Nebraska at Oklahoma game. What did that look like when Nebraska just kept jumping? I mean, it was horrifying, right?
Yeah.
Tackles kept jumping. I think a guard was jumping. I can't remember who the hell it was, but they jumped about 3 or 4 times.
The game in Norman or the game in
the game in Norman. Game in Norman. And you can't see, I get it. If he's doing that, you can't put him out there. You can't.
One time's too many.
Huh? Yeah, one time
theoretically, but that's going to play itself out. The interior is solidified. Grant Bricks kind of moved into that number 2 right guard spot because of the Gibson Pyle thing. He's your outright
Gibson Pyle injury
out for the season. Jason Machachok, number 2 guard behind Latoski. Sam Sledger, number 2 center behind Justin Evans. So they've got that ironed out. I wouldn't say any real surprises at receiver other than there are no ors. I mean, a pretty defined starting group. And Isaiah Hunter, Dane Key, Ja'Cory Barney. But then the second wave, the top 6, as you like to call it, Quinn Clark at a number 2, Cortez Mills at a number 2, and then a Janier Bonner at a number 2.
No surprises whatsoever.
And then Keelan Smith and Jeremiah Jones made the depth chart. And we felt all along they had 8 that could play all 8 on that depth chart.
No surprises whatsoever at receiver. Quarterback, a little bit surprised.
Surprising because where it started. And I think we know how hard it is for a true freshman. So for TJ Lateef to elevate himself into the number 2 outright role, no or, over the veteran Jalen Gramstead tells you that. But you could see it on that open practice that we got to watch. What did I tell you right away? I go, wow, this guy's good. Like you could tell Lateef has some it factor to him, and he's clearly come on here in August.
Well, I think you'd agree he has better arm strength than Gramstead.
Mobility.
I wrote that he has better arm strength, and I kind of intimated that was the difference, but it's not. Rule made it pretty clear that the difference is what Lateef can run. Now you heard it from both Dane. It's our job, Sean, to kind of like take a deep breath sometimes. I mean, we're both always going way too fast. We have to take a deep breath and listen to what these guys say. What Holgerson said a couple weeks ago, and then what Rule said today. They really like a quarterback that can run. They like that in Lateef. You heard Dana Holgerson say he runs like when he gets going, he's like a running back. And today Matt Rule's saying, hey, separators, he runs it. He can run it. He does he's thick lowers. I mean, he looks
200 pounds.
You can see why he can run it.
He actually looks bigger than 6'1" to me. They list him at 6'1", but I mean, he looks bigger than that.
So Lateef, no or, straight number 2.
And the running back position, Sipple, no ors on that either. A simple 1, 2, 3, Emmett Johnson, Mekhi Nelson, Isaiah Mosey, then Quentin Ives.
No surprises. Zero surprise there. I did not think they'd put an or between Mekhi Nelson and Mosey.
And I didn't. You just felt Nelson really.
Oh, I thought Nelson was number 2. Yeah.
Now on the defense, as we move it over to the defensive side of the ball, Williams, Winery, Cam Lenhart carry an or, and that's a really good sign in my opinion. I think in the spring you were a little worried, like
about what?
Winery.
Yeah.
If they, didn't get a guy that was going to work out, and I think the fact that he's come on and had a better August, and now number 1, a very good sign.
Yes, what Matt Rule said, Sean, is Winery is a completely. This is music to your ears. Winery is a completely different football player than when he first got here. He's a completely different football player than he was in the spring. He's getting better and better, and he's really been committed to the team and doing what the team does. So you can't help but think when Rule says stuff like that, does that sort of apply to Pritchett? You just can't help. Doesn't your mind wonder?
Yeah, you start to connect the dots a little bit.
A little bit. It could be wrong. Could be off base. It's probably why Rule's doing a podcast to set us straight on these things. But it is great news. And we said in the spring, God, you hope Winery turns it on in August. He turned it on in August.
We didn't ask today, though, the black shirts. Well, the answers were so lengthy at times. You just kind of lost. I mean, like the captains and the black shirts, a couple of like detail things.
I don't think about the black shirts as much as you do because it's just the 11
starters. Well,
starters.
it would be interesting to know, like, would Winery get one and Lenhart both? I mean, anybody that's on the one line probably is going to get one, correct?
It's a good point.
But like Riley Van Poppel's a number 2.
Right. What do you do with Vincent Shavers?
So you've got a couple single digit guys that wouldn't be black shirts.
See, here's the thing about the black shirts. Are you giving 15 out then? Are you giving 16 out?
That doesn't seem like Rule style, but yeah, Shavers has got an or, so he'd get a black shirt. Javen Wright, no or. That makes sense. He'd get one. Deshaun McCullough. You go down the line. Yeah, there's no other or. There's only 2 ors on the defensive depth chart, so there would theoretically be
13.
Well, they have 12 positions listed. 2, 4,
12.
6, 8, 10, 11. I'm sorry, they have 11. 11 positions listed here, just 4 defensive backs. Oh, never mind. I'm miscounting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12.
So you're giving out 14 black shirts?
So there's 14 number 1 guys.
I don't know. That's why I don't. Look, it is a tradition at Nebraska. It's an important one. But you can't win in that discussion. You're not giving one to Vincent Shavers?
Yeah,
he's not listed as a 1 technically.
But yeah, you have Van Poppel as a 2. somewhat of a
So
surprise.
see what I mean?
But
Van Poppel has it. So Van Poppel has a single digit. You're not giving him a black shirt.
and Judy doesn't.
That'd be really weird, right?
So there's some complicated things on that defense. I could almost see Van Poppel, though. Judy struggles. He could be a guy that jumps to the one spot.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Jalen George on the depth chart. Keona Davis, outright starter. Love Keona Davis.
Yep.
The jack position, Sipple. Desan McCullough, number 1. Willis McGahee, not number 2. Jordan Ochoa, the walk-on.
Wow.
The walk-on.
Redshirt freshman walk-on Jordan Ochoa
is the outright 2.
It's one of the top 3 things I noticed on this.
You've been an Ochoa guy since Fordham.
We got to give Robin credit. Remember, we're sitting there at Fordham in the stands, and Robin says, "Who's this guy?" And I don't know if I think he was wearing 94. He's like, "Who's this? Who's Ochoa?" And I'm like, "Why are you asking me this question?" And he says, "Because he looks like a dude." Robin ferreted that out.
Sniffed that one out.
Yeah, he sniffed that one out. Ochoa. There's a couple things we sniffed out at Fordham. I kind of sniffed out Mekhi Nelson. I was like, wait a second. That dude's got a gear now. I mean, he can roll. He gets going fast. But anyway, yeah, Ochoa, sorry to hijack that. Ochoa was a revelation on this. I just wonder, I mean, where's McGahee now? Probably not that far off at all. Right?
Yeah, I think you're going to see those guys all play, but let's be clear. I think McCullough is your outright guy there. That's the guy they brought in.
Yep.
As a senior, a veteran,
paid a lot of money
to pay the but yeah, he was a big acquisition,
right?
And he's a veteran football player,
right?
And he's a senior, so it's not surprising at all that he's the outright guy.
No, not at all.
You move down the line. Dawson Merritt below Jacob Bauer kind of maybe caught my attention a little bit.
I know it did.
Well, I think Merritt's going to be a better player, like long term.
Eventually, yeah.
And we'll see how that plays out over time. But Merritt on the depth chart. In the secondary, no real surprises. I think we've known these 5 starters since the spring.
Mm-hmm.
But they love Rex Guthrie as that backup rover.
Stop right there. Rule today says Guthrie would start on other Big Ten teams. Rex Guthrie. I think that's what he said.
Out of Colorado.
He'd start on other, let's just say, college teams. I have to go back over the tape. But, yeah, Rex Guthrie is a bit of a revelation.
You need some cranium, buddy.
No, I'm fine. Thanks.
The Splenda got you. You better cross it up with some cranium.
I'm fine.
I drank a cranium earlier this morning, so I'm not having one right now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Sure. Our heads are spinning.
Right.
But, yeah, Guthrie, you're outright 2. Donovan Jones kind of appears to be your third corner right now, along with Jeremiah Charles, those 2 guys. But I do think Hartstug, Jameer Khan, they can play corner. Caleb Benning locked in as that number 2 safety behind Marquise Buford. Mari Sanders, I thought, was a guy that might have a shot at being a 2. He comes in as 3rd on the depth chart.
He does. He probably does have a shot at being 2, though. I think with a lot of these placements, a lot of them, not all of them. I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them, there's not much that separates these players. That's how you got to, Sean, that's where you would hope your inside knowledge and your experience comes in to recognize at certain spots. For instance, at certain spots, there's not a big separation. For instance, Judy Van Poppel. There can't be much separation there, right? Now, on the other hand, Latovsky, Shake Shack, probably pretty big separation, right?
Sear Wright, Jeremiah Charles,
big separation.
Andrew Marshall, Donovan Jones, big. I think Jones is good, but I think there's big separation there.
Right. So there are certain positions you look at, and there's not much separation at all. Now there's certain ones that you can see separation, like Singleton Guthrie. There's significant separation there. Rule has said Singleton. What hasn't he said that could be a 3rd rounder? Like, is that sort of talent? Nobody's saying that about Guthrie right now. Right?
No, well, I think that's I don't know if Singleton's that high of a draft pick. I mean,
about 4 or 5.
I have a hard. I mean, Fedoni didn't go that high, and so I'll believe it when I'm really skeptical on like draft projections because there's a lot of good players, and
Oh.
it's hard to get drafted that high. And I don't just throw that out
I
there.
respect that.
And especially the draft doesn't like the older guys anymore.
True.
They want younger, non-COVID year guys.
Right.
I mean,
Okay, what about kicker? What was your read on that?
I think they know what they're going to do. They just are kind of keeping it quiet. It's going to, I would be pretty surprised if it's not Cunanan.
Same.